down, hold tight.
Well, happy Good Friday. We got a good show ahead. We got lots of sports, lots of updates, lots of music, and including today's special guest here on episode 22. We're going to do an interview here with Jason Ink, and we're going to bring him on. Do you have anything to go to right away, or do you want to start off with Jason, Andy?
We'll spend some wrestling stuff down to Jason right away, then we'll come back to normal program, if you will.
Oh, perfect. Okay, let's head into some wrestling here on the episode. Let's go ahead.
All right, welcome, Jason. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back again. It's a privilege to be back with you, Andy.
You're over there at the tattoo parlor. You said
just looking to shout out to all the Ink population and say hi to everybody.
Very good, very good. We talked earlier in our pre-production meeting, you and I. You said you had some breaking news you heard of from WWE.
I do. I just heard the breaking news as of today. The revival got their release. I'm very happy. Finally, they'll get to go somewhere where hopefully they can make it big, whether it's New Japan, ROH, AEW, maybe possibly TNA, depending on what they're looking for. But nevertheless, it's great news for them. I mean, I know they've been looking for their release for some time. They weren't happy with the comedy bit that WWE was trying to do with them. They told WWE off the bat, we're not a comedy act, we're wrestlers. This is what we're here to do. And WWE just wasn't reading into what they were saying. And here we are, as we know, after WrestleMania, WWE likes to release a lot of stars. Well, the revival got their wish.
I think with that, the whole lockdown thing, you might see a few more names released than you would expect, but really not that big a shock that names are dropping. What's your opinion?
No. What's that?
What's your opinion on these whole empty studio or empty arena shows they've been doing? Me personally, I like the AEW ones when they have a half dozen guys sitting around the ring, giving them the business, giving them a hard time. WWE, when they're in the Performance Center, I think a lot of these guys feel like they're trying out again, because that's where they trained to start with. AEW's, they got some guys out there doing some ribbon back and forth, they have some interaction. Do you like the empty arenas? Do you think it's a good bit?
I think, like at WrestleMania, I noticed, that there were a couple people that during the matches, were instantly right up off the bat once the bell rang, that they went for, I know I was watching the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss, the Cross match, and I noticed that as soon as the bell rang and Asuka got in, she started clapping, looking for an instant reaction from the fans, and then right away, when she kind of came back, she kind of forgot that the audience wasn't there. She kind of stopped. She kind of like,
I noticed that in the Goldberg match too, he did that a few times.
Yeah, and I mean, AEW, I think when it comes to working in front of, as far as their production goes, I think their production's better. Working in front of like no fans because of the fact a lot of the guys that wrestle on their program are indie workers, so they're kind of familiar
going to go over some terminology here behind the curtain, if you will. And I guess one to start with is the term smarten someone up. What does it mean to smarten someone up?
I mean, smarten someone, when they say smarten someone up, it basically means that they're going to make you in, they're going to teach you the ropes, teach you where, teach you the ins and outs of the business. They're going to, teach you the ways. I mean, it's just up to whoever needs to be smartened up. It's just basically it's up to you just to listen. That's it.
What does it mean if during a match, to say you did a shoot match, or you're shooting on someone? What does that mean?
A lot of times people say, okay, like when you're asking me like what it means to shoot. Now,
Yep.
typically, okay, now you have two types here. There's two type of workers.
Yep.
You have guys that like the work stiff and like to work a shoot style wrestling. They like to go out there. They like to be what you call extra steady.
Okay.
Make it look as real as possible. A lot of guys, the only time somebody will shoot on you is if you're in the ring with somebody and you do something to somebody and they've already worked you, say, like 2 or 3 times. After the third time, they're going to basically turn the table around on you and basically either do the same thing to you and be extra stiff with it, or they're going to turn around and do their style of what they feel I should like. They're going to do their form of justice, as they say.
Right.
And basically when you shoot on somebody, basically you are all bets are off. Like if you're in a storyline with somebody and you say you're punching somebody, but you're punching too hard, and I'm like, hey man, lighten up, like you still lay him in, but lighten up, and you keep on pounding me in the face, and I come back through the curtain with a busted eye socket.
Right.
Well, the next time I get you in the ring, honestly, I'm not going to be very happy with you.
Right.
And I'm going to basically give you a bump.
Right. How about if you're going to work someone? Someone did a work in a match.
When you work someone, you are basically when you're working someone, you're basically telling a story. You're basically sitting there and you guys are basically working together
Okay.
to tell the story.
All right. How about, and you hear this sometimes, you hear the referee yell it out. They tell someone during a match, say, take it home or go home. What does that mean?
That basically means end the match. It's time to go home. Your time's up. It's over. You need to go ahead, whatever the finish is or whatever the call is for the match.
So I've heard other wrestlers tell stories. I've heard other wrestlers tell stories where we're in the middle of the match, and when the ref goes, how about, go ahead.
Well, a lot of times, if a wrestler is injured, and they're hurt, sometimes you'll hear the referee say, take it home, because he's too injured to continue the match.
Okay.
So they'll say, you know what, take it home.
All right. How about, people say with the crowd popped or you popped for something. That just means you got really excited and into it, correct?
Yeah, a lot of times, fans, when they say fans pop, and they can pop for you as a bad guy, they can pop for you as a good guy. A lot of times, as a heel, the more that you're more of an a-hole to the audience, and the more you feed into them, the more you put them down, when they start coming back at you and they start
once we know more of some more releases in a couple weeks, we might do some more interviews with you, all right?
Thanks, Jason.
All right, thank you again. Ink Population, that's all right, Jason Ink, checking in with us today. All right.
Good stuff.
Learned a few things there. Get back to other stuff here, Dan. Do you have anything amateur, high school, or collegiate wise?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep. Do you have any college or high school stuff to report?
I've got none of that. I've got some images to bring on the screen when you go through your this day in history and this time. And I've got some NFL notes and of course our music notes.
All right. I got a couple college things. Bemidji State hockey, Bemidji State women's hockey. After 12 years, Bemidji State women's hockey assistant head coach Amber Falkland has announced she's going to step down from coaching and accepted a position as professor position at BSU's Department of Human Performance, Sport, and Health. So she's, after 12 years of coaching, she's going to be back in just teaching part. Also speaking of the women's team, goalie Lauren Bench has decided to grad transfer from BSU down to the Gophers, where she's going to work on her degree for medical school and play for the Gophers this year. So BSU has some changes for the women's team up there, but a good program there. They'll both be missed, but I'm sure the list of people feeling is going to take care of it. So that's what I got there. And I do have some baseball stuff real quick. Have you heard anything about baseball signings or deals you want to talk about, or should I just dive into my...
Nothing on my perspective, no.
All right. Things like that. There's also some stuff obviously baseball players. It's just that this kind of two. It's about two in the first one. What's this version of it? That's the two ways of art and that's the call. And then let's look at the thing up with the first hunter. It's going to you are watching for the start of this couple of cookies of this prepared already. Congress, back to 3 seconds and college. Funny, the only four that are in the Hall of Fame, they got their numbers retired. That again. The other numbers they retired for the Twins are Oliva, Herbeck, Maurer, and Tom Kelly. Now, of course, this doesn't count Jackie Robinson, so everybody has his number retired. I believe Oliva's number should be retired. I got no problem with that. Herbeck, I had a little problem with his number being retired. Great player, good player, nothing against him. Didn't need his number retired. That was a pure publicity thing. Things were bad with the team. They needed a weekend to draw people in. Maurer, I would have waited a little bit until he got closer to the Hall of Fame to retire his number. And Tom Kelly, I could see retiring his too, and I could put up my argument for Tom Kelly being in the Hall of Fame, to tell you the truth. Then they went over, there's 3 other teams I saw in here about, they said their next number they'll retire, and here's a couple I never realized on it. Except for the Angels, the next 2 guys to get their number retired would probably be Vlad Guerrero, and then in the future, Mike Trout. One thing I didn't realize, both of them were number 27. Kind of odd they gave away Guerrero's 27 that fast. The Mariners were another team that came up. Randy Johnson and Ichiro Suzuki, who both wore number 51. Again, kind of surprised they gave up that number in Seattle. And then with the Mets, they're saying David Wright's number 5 might be retired next, and also Davey Johnson, when he managed the Mets in the 80s there, late 80s, he also wore number 5. So if they retired that number, would they do both of them? The Mariners, they retired 51, do they do Johnson first and Ichiro? Don't know how that's going to go for that. So it'd be kind of interesting in a situation like that. I know there's some teams that have
some things relating to sports and the lockdown. And
okay.
Related to and what we can and cannot cover. One of the things I thought was interesting, we've brought up in the past, we've got the coronavirus lockdown here going on. We can't do human sports. We can certainly cover track, drive, race, horse racing, dog track racing, cockfighting, things like that is what we could bring up, and what I get here locally, great story locally, which just came into the mix here. Just want to make sure we all see this here. The story, South St. Paul cockfighting ring was exposed, and followed that with a high-speed chase that resulted in a Maplewood man's arrest. And so this came up, and we're talking about sports, and although this is sports related here, Andy, this is a great topic here for sports and so on. During the lockdown, we got a cockfighting incident. Problem is, it doesn't mention the results, who won, who didn't, what was the money, what was the payout, what was the odds. And what are your thoughts on that, Andy?
Sport, anytime I make a buck, I'll make a buck. And to a point, if that's the culture down there where it was, it is what it is. Is it legal? Is it humane study you get on it? That's another story for another day. If they want to have cockfighting,
this was locally.
Yeah.
This is in St. Paul.
Yeah, well,
interesting.
We are a melting pot in St. Paul, so.
Exactly.
And it shows different cultures, different people, and the sad thing is, it's probably been going on for years. It's just that there's this lockdown and nothing else going on for it to show up.
Correct. So it is interesting. They're staying indoors, doing the same thing, doing the fighting down in the basement instead of a home. And so interesting. But like you said, this has probably been going on for years. It just happened to get busted now. The problem is the dude left on a high-speed chase and was arrested. So that's all I've really got for sports. All I could really bring into the mix, other than some NFL notes, is cockfighting.
Yeah, it's all like the NFL draft.
We do what we can. The NFL draft. And so that brings us to some NFL news I've got is Houston Texans. Have you been following the news with them?
No, go ahead, what do you got?
Well, here's what I've got. Now, the Houston Texans they're making the most, I think, of the off season here before the draft's coming up. Because the Houston Texans draft coming up, I think it's the April 22nd, 23rd, 24th, something like that, a couple weeks. But in the off season alone, they have made a lot of moves. The biggest splash in the news as far as trading away guys, dumping guys, getting guys, acquiring guys. And although some of these are quarterbacks, offensive linemen, from the fantasy perspective, it's going to have a big impact here on some of these moves for the future years. They acquired wide receiver Brandon Cooks. They acquired Kenny Stills, wide receiver. They also acquired running back David Johnson, running back Carlos Hyde. So those are big fantasy impacts. Now the problem is, what they got rid of is one of the top receivers in the entire league, DeAndre Hopkins. Just announced yesterday by the Texans that he has he's demanding a trade. He wants to get out. So from fantasy perspective, a lot of movement there in the NFL relating to the Houston Texans. So they're really the team to watch here in the offseason. But that's all I've got. That's all I've got for NFL and Major League Sports.
This week in sports history, if you're ready for that.
Yes, this week in sports history. I think you've got some good ones here. What I did on a new format here on Be Live, I've got some images to pull up. So go ahead. I'll stop you when I've got an image to pull up here on the screen for the viewers. But other than that, just take it away.
All right. This week in sports history started April 5th, 1934. Baseball superstar Babe Ruth agrees to do 3 15-minute broadcasts a week over on NBC for a fee of $39,000 for 13 weeks. More more than what the Yankees were paying him in his contract. April 5th, 1972. The regular Major League Baseball season fails to open due to a player strike for the first time in history. 86 games are lost before the labor dispute is settled. 1982. 43-year-old St. Louis reliever Jim Cott pitches one inning for the Cardinals in the season opening 14-3 rout of Houston. Sets a major league record by pitching for pitchers by playing in 24 consecutive seasons. 2014, Twins manager Ron Gardner picks up his 1,000th win in the majors as the Twins score a 7-3 victory over Cleveland Indians. April 6th, 1979, Baltimore Orioles manager Earl Weaver gets his 1,000th win. It's a 5-3 victory over the White Sox. And 1982, the largest crowd ever to see a baseball game in Minnesota, 52,279. Not rocket science to figure out that being the first day in the Metrodome. April 5th, birthdays. 1951, Bert Blyleven, former Twins pitcher, was born. He was born in the Netherlands. Blyleven also coaches in the World League Baseball for the Netherlands. He's still in there and Twins announcer. You ever go see Bert Blyleven there? He's got no problem showing you his World Championship rings. He's got them wearing and flashes them around. And I would too, I guess. I wanted to.
Andy, I'll hold up a bit here. I've got some interesting photos. I don't know if you can see on the screen here. Earl Weaver, going back to the Earl Weaver story. Right of our screen is him managing for the Orioles. And very good manager is what he was. Now, on the bottom left, a rare photo of Mr. Earl Weaver playing for the Cardinals in the minors. Minor league photo of Earl Weaver. I went and found that out there on the web. I thought you'd get a kick out of that one. And wow, photo of Earl Weaver playing for the Cardinals.
Now, a lot of those great managers like him or Tom Kelly or Tommy Lasorda for the Dodgers, they were good minor league players, average major league players that make Hall of Fame coaches. So that's kind of exciting to see those. And Earl Weaver played what, second base, does it say?
I don't know. I believe so. I can't confirm it though.
All right. April 7th, this week in sports history, 1958. The Dodgers erected a 42-foot screen in left field at LA Coliseum, kept out on the home runs, such it was only 250 feet down that line at the time. And on opening day, opening of the season, 1984, Detroit Tigers pitcher Jack Morris no hits the White Sox 4-0. I assume it was opening day. Morris was starting at the opening day. 1995, baseball exhibition season begins late due to a strike then. Birthdays for April 7th, 1954, Tony Dorsett of the Cowboys. Went to the University of Pittsburgh. The Super Bowl, Pro Bowls, Cowboys player. I believe his son is in the NFL now too as a safety. Tony Dorsett, birthday 1954. 1960, James Buster Douglas was born. He's the guy who shocked the world and beat Tyson in Japan in 1990. April 8th, this week in sports history, 1968. Baseball's opening day is postponed because of the Martin Luther King assassination. 1974, Hammer Hank Aaron hits his 715th home run, breaking Babe Ruth's record. And in my opinion, Hank Aaron is still a home run champion. But another story again for another day. I love Bonds and Sosa, all those guys do steroids. Yeah, their numbers counted, but you really change the game by doing that. 1975, Frank Robinson debuts as the first African-American baseball manager with Cleveland, and they beat the Yankees 5-3 that day. Birthdays, April 8th, 1954, Gary Carter, former Expos and Mets catcher, Hall of Famer. His birthday, he just passed away. The average passing was a few weeks ago too. He was managing in the minors. Oh, there they are, cards.
There they are. And what I've got here, Andy, bottom left is Gary Carter, number 8 for the Mets. Played many years with the Expos. Number 8, good shot there. But on the bottom right, I found a photo of a card, 1974. We have Gary Carter wearing number 57. Number 57. And that's a rare photo right there because, I don't know if you can see it here. That was a minor league number. They called him up, assigned him number 57, and threw a
I have that card, by the way. I have all those cards.
You do?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. I'd like to see that.
Touch them, or you can look at them if you want. I'm not going to let you touch them.
They're, Gary Carter's always been a fan of mine. I know you're a big fan of his, but always liked Gary Carter, big fan.
Continue on birthdays that day, April 1986. Felix Hernandez of the Mariners, and now he's still trying to catch on in the league. He's still pitching. 1986 was his birthday. 1953, the NBA Finals, NBA Championship Finals, Minneapolis Auditorium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Lakers beat the Knicks 91-84 for a 4-1 series victory, giving the Lakers their 5th title in 6 years. So everybody likes the Los Angeles Lakers. They started here. Why would Los Angeles name their team the Lakers, for crying out loud? And when the Minneapolis Lakers played here, championships all the time. You see George Mikan's, that's him, his statue at Target Center. If you ever go there, big number 99. That was him there with the Lakers. Birthdays, April 9th. Here's one. I did not know this. 1936, John Madden, NFL coach of the Raiders and sports commentator, was born in Austin, Minnesota. I did not know that.
A local guy, I've got the image up there, favorite on the, one of a lot of the younger viewers that know the video game called Madden, and as far as his broadcasting career, John Madden in the booth, but longtime head coach of Oakland Raiders, there's an image there from the 70s, as far as John Madden. Local guy, correct, Austin, Minnesota.
Let's finish 40 and 120 that year. So that's you can do that again if you want. No. That's all I got for sports. I'm ready to do some music history if you're ready, sir.
I think so. I think we're ready for some music. There's lots here in this month. In the month of April, there's tons. So yeah, let's get right into that.
Some of this is kind of review. Some of this is kind of review for some album reviews, but still we'll bring it up because it's kind of fun stuff. April 5th, 2005. It's the 11th anniversary of Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain's suicide. His hometown of Aberdeen, Washington adds this phrase, "Come as you are," to the state welcome sign. There it is, yeah.
Check it out. There's the actual sign. If you were to go to Aberdeen, Washington, they added that piece beneath it. It does say "Come as you are," a famous song by Nirvana. They added that 11 years after the death.
2002, Alice in Chains frontman Lane Staley dies after overdose of heroin and cocaine. 34-year-old Sarah had fallen into addiction and lost most contact with the outside world. His body isn't discovered until 2 weeks later, when some friends couldn't find him and asked, "Hey, can you go check on him?" So, yeah, he was found in his apartment after that. 1961.
I believe he weighed a total of 86 pounds when they found the body as well. He was down to nothing, skin and bones, and was all shooting up all day long for heroin.
34 years old, too. That's just sad. 1961, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet episode, Question of Suits and Ties. Ricky Nelson sings Traveling Man. It could be considered the first ever music video. 1967, Monkees fans march in London to protest the band member Davy Jones's announced induction into the army. Teen Heartthrob is eventually exempted from duty, being that he's the family's main provider. Birthdays on this day, 1966, rock guitarist Mike McCready of Pearl Jam was born in Pensacola, Florida. 1964, rapper Christopher Reed, also known as Kid from Kid and Play, was born in the Bronx, New York. Then, here's kind of an odd one. Don't really like bring it up because it's a birthday, death anniversary thing. 2016 is the 79th birthday of Merle Haggard, but also the same day he died in his ranch in Northern California. Haggard placed 71 songs in the top 10 country charts during his lifetime. 1974, Billy Joel scores his first top 40 hit with Piano Man. which comes in at number 33 and peaked at number 25 2 weeks later. In 1998, Tammy Wynette died at the age of 55, suffering from numerous health problems. Birthdays that day, April 7th. 1975, John Cooper, frontman of the Christian rock band Skillet, is born in Memphis, Tennessee. Also, birthday 1932, heavy metal bassist Paul Gray of Slipknot is born in Los Angeles, California, but raised in Des Moines, Iowa. 1963, John Lennon is born. John Charles Julian Lennon, the first child of John Lennon and his first wife, Cynthia. 1962, guitarist Izzy Stradlin is born. Guns N' Roses fan. He's born Jeffrey Dean Isabel in Lafayette, Louisiana. Let's see. April 9th, 1997, amidst personal tensions between its band members, Soundgarden announces a breakup, which lasts for 13 years. Birthdays, 1977. Alternate rock singer Gerald Way of My Chemical Romance is born in Summit, New Jersey. 1932, rockabilly singer Carl Perkins is born in Tennessee. Carl Perkins is very influential in music and bluegrass and country music and some rock music, if you know what you're talking about, you follow music. April 10th, 1992, brash stand-up comedian Sam Kinison, who also appeared in some music videos for Bad Medicine and Kickstart My Heart, Wild Thing. There is Sam Kinison. Died at the age of 38 in a car crash when he was hit by a teen drunk driver. Sam Kinison, 38. He listened to a lot of his comedy. It's hard to believe Sam Kinison was also a minister at one time before he went into comedy. Some of his old comedy, he mentioned some religious things in there. So there's Sam Kinison, 38. He was also in Best Bit Ever, the movie Back to School with him and Rodney Dangerfield. Best scene in that movie. YouTube it, look it up. It was a great scene. Birthdays, 1970. Heavy metal guitarist Mike Massac of Stain is born in New York. He was one of my favorite bits here. April 11th, 1983. Dave Mustaine is kicked out of Metallica because of his drug and alcohol addictions. Soon after, he forms Megadeth, which becomes one of the most successful metal bands of its era. Megadeth was good. They weren't one of the most successful bands. I just like to clear that up. I like them. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Successful? That's up for debate. 2017. Jay Giles, guitarist and founding member of the Jay Giles Band, died at the age of 71. 1997. After a 20-year absence, Grand Funk reforms for a tour that benefits Bosnian American Relief Effort Fund, which aids victims of the genocide in Bosnia. Side note to that, in the year 2000, Bruce Kulick, former guitarist for Kiss, joins Grand Funk because Paul and Gene wanted to go back into the band, the original band, and make up a tour, and then was out of a job. So he went back and he plays for Grand Funk now. Doing a great job, loving life over there. 1970, alt-rock bassist Dylan Keefe of Marcy Playground. Never heard of him, but gotta mention it because he's a local boy, born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 1970. And that, sir, does it for birthdays this week in music history. What have you got for your album review?
Well, Andy, I've got an album review for this week. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Album review this week, Def Leppard. This is the first time I've done a Def Leppard album review, and I'm going to bring it up here. It's the 1981 High and Dry album. And the reason I bring this one up, it was good. It was second studio album by English rock band Def Leppard, released in July of 1981. It was Willis's last full-time album with the band, and it charted at number 38 on the Billboard 200. It ended up going double platinum, 42 minutes long, heavy metal, recorded at Battery Studios in London. And this was recorded between March and June of 1981 and released in July in both the UK and the US. Producer Robert Mutt Lang once again. We brought him up on previous episodes. A lot of the, going back to AC/DC and things. Robert Mutt Lang did this one. Def Leppard, a lot of the fans came on board with Pyromania, album that came out in 1983. But if you go one album before this, it's actually this one. It's the High and Dry CD. It's actually probably one could argue, the better, actually, of the two. Side one on the cassette was Let It Go. Very good song. Song two was Another Hit and Run. Song three was High and Dry, Saturday Night. That's the title track here. Song four was Bringing On the Heartbreak, with a lot of people like that. And then song five, a song called Switch 625. It's an instrumental. It's a 3-minute instrumental with some very good guitar work. Keith Clark. Basically, he's featured on it, but the rest of the band plays. There's no vocals on it. Straight up instrumental. I listened to it the other day before reviewing this, while doing this as part of my homework, Andy, and it's pretty good almost just to watch. There's a compilation on YouTube of all of Steve Clark's work. He died at age 30, January of 1991. But was a very good guitarist. Side two was You Got Me Running, Lady Strange, On Through the Night. Song 9 was Mirror, Mirror, parentheses, Look Into My Eyes, and the final track is No, No, No. Now, On Through the Night, you're a Def Leppard fan, Andy, right? So On Through the Night actually was a previous album. Their debut album was On Through the Night, and the title track of that wasn't even on the album On Through the Night. It was moved and placed onto this album, High and Dry. So it's a trivia question of sorts. I don't know if you remember this, but I was a big, or still am a big Led Zeppelin fan, and they did that also on a song called Houses of the Holy. I don't know if you remember that. Houses of the Holy is featured on the album called Physical Graffiti. Houses of the Holy, the album, doesn't even have the song Houses of the Holy on it, but instead it's on a different album altogether. Now, in Led Zeppelin's defense, they had the tracks all laid down, ready to all recorded and throw on the album. And the producers said that they had 2 or 3 other songs in that album called Houses of the Holy that sounded very similar with the melody and the song actually called Houses of the Holy. So they elected to keep it off and release it on the following album. And so that was it. The first album for Def Leppard, Joe Elliott, of course, lead singer. Steve Clark, one of the, and I'll mention one of the lead guitarists. He plays lead and rhythm, and Pete Willis plays lead and rhythm. So in the liner notes of this CD, there is various solos for each song. They split them up. Steve Clark does some, Pete Willis does some. Rick Savage plays the bass, and Mr. Rick Allen, drummer, back when he had both arms, Rick Allen lost arm amputated. At a New Year's Eve car crash after the Pyromania album, I think, came out, he lost his arm. So they had some issues with that. The singles released from this album is Let It Go, which is the initial track. But the B-side of that was Switch 625, which is once again that instrumental, which I thought was interesting that they released as a B-side, as a single on that other side. The other single that was released was Bringing On the Heartbreak. Everyone knows that. And Me and My Wine. And that is, I believe, it. It went double platinum. And the cover art there that I'm showing on the right-hand side, it was done by a company called Hypnosis. Hypnosis. So the fans and everyone looking up, and the divers diving down for High and Dry. And I think that's a marijuana reference there as far as drug use for the band back in the day. This was 1981. Before they did become huge with Hysteria that came out later, more mainstream, of course, more commercialized. I liked it, but I like these two better. This one and High and Dry and Pyromania were my two personal favorites from that. What were your thoughts, Andy? I know.
Well, when we talk about Steve Clark, when he passed away, I believe that was here in Minneapolis.
Oh, really?
Yes. we've had a lot of great artists come from here, and a lot of them leave from here, if you will.
Interesting.
Yeah. Steve Clark, I believe, was in Minneapolis when he passed away, yeah. And then the other guitarist said now Phil Collins must have replaced him after that album.
Well, Phil Collins came in after that, and when they did a remix in 1984, and brought, Phil Collins was in the band at the time, not to be confused with Phil Collins from Genesis, but Phil Collins came in and they re-released on the remix Bringing On the Heartbreak and Me and My Wine, released that on MTV, which was reaching their heyday back then, and the music video was released, featured Phil Collins and guitar for those two songs. Keep in mind he was not even in the band for those two songs when they originally were released in 1981. So Phil Collins is in those music videos. That's all I've got. Andy, are you there? Have we cut off? I think that's all we got for the show today. I'm not sure if Andy's got anything more here. That's what I've got. Thanks again for Jason Inc. joining us, former All-Star wrestler, and back in the day. And but let me bring on Andy, unless he dropped off.